Monday with the Mavens. We're figuring this out. I forgot my tripod, and we're at Haley's house, and we have Facebook we have Macro Mavens over here, Medical Mavens over here. We should start this over, but we're not going to.
It's live. You guys, you get what you get, and with us, you never know what you're going to get. And if these fall over, like we'll set you straight.
Okay, you guys, today we are going to talk, we're going to talk about a handful of things, but we're going to be short and sweet. And the biggest thing is we just want to talk about the concept of...
Sorry, this is driving me nuts.
Ooh.
There.
Okay.
Now
we want to talk about the concept of macro mavens and medical mavens as a beautiful union and how that can work so good for you. But what we can all do foundationally that is free and accessible to help us be our best, healthiest self. And then when and why would you maybe want to consider medical intervention and or even before that, work with a coach? And so let's just break it down.
Let's do it. Yeah. So you guys, we, especially here at Macro Mavens, you guys are super familiar with our 5 pillars of health. And we'll just go over those super fast, especially for the medical mavens people who maybe haven't heard this. But within these 5 things, there are so many free things that you can do to better yourself health-wise. And hopefully you can find the changes that you're looking for just by implementing some of these free things before you have to actually take medical action. Yeah. So let's dive in. What's number 1?
Yeah, and I'm going to add one little caveat, and that is nutrition. And we say this all the time, you guys. Nutrition is foundationally the best, easiest, most accessible thing you can do to change your health. And we stay true to that. So that is why we created Macro Mavens, because we really believe that if you learn how to properly fuel your body and your brain, there are so many things that will, your bodily systems, your nervous system, your endocrine system, your digestive system, all of the things will naturally improve. We hear time and time again from our clients how they might have come to us for an aesthetic change, which we're absolutely going to help them reach. Most of the time it's a body composition shift, but so many other things come from that, like increased energy, improved sleep, better hair, skin, nails, improved libido, improved hormones, mood, all the things, because we're able to fuel them appropriately. However, there is a time and a place where even when you're doing all of the things, there might be some other things that we need to look at or improve. And oftentimes those are going to be things like getting your hormones tested, looking at immune function, looking at your thyroid, looking at your gut. And that's where Medical Mavens comes in. And so once again, like Haley was saying, from our 5 pillar standpoint, those are the things all of us can do that is free and accessible to anybody. Now, having a coach in your corner that can help you walk through that and also understanding truly what to eat is going to be like the best thing you can do. But there's a time and a place for medical intervention, and that's why we wanted to marry the two of having Macro Mavens, which it just makes such a difference. We've, got to work with thousands of clients by this time and help them literally change their lives. We run into clients sometimes, though, that really could benefit from getting tested and from getting, from us being able to see clinically what's happening with them so that we can make it even better. And that's where Medical Mavens comes in. So let's get back to the 5 pillars.
Oftentimes you don't even know until you've gone through like a program like Macro Mavens. Oftentimes what happens is things get revealed when you do get your nutrition on point, when you're doing all of the things that we're going to talk about here in just a second. If you're doing all of those things and you're still like not feeling great, or there's other things that just aren't being addressed, then that's when it's like, well, let's go to a medical provider and see if there's something additional that needs to happen in order to actually get you from point A to point B, if you can't get there with all of the things that we're going to talk about.
And let's just break it down really quick, because this is our first time doing a live with Medical Mavens. We've done tons and tons with Macro Mavens.
Yeah, so those of you actually at Medical Mavens, if you are curious, you can go to our YouTube channel. All of these live on our YouTube channel. Yep. You can just search Macro Mavens on YouTube and find all of those things.
So Macro Mavens, we're just going to break it down really quick. Macro Mavens was the beginning, is our baby. And that is where we have a team of incredible coaches that can work with our clients from the comfort of their own home, from anywhere via our app, but it's customized coaching. And we truly work from a nutritional standpoint to get you balanced and feeling your best. And there's an educational process through that. It's all customized. You have your own macro assignment. We help you learn how to fuel your body. We help you towards your goals. We get you into maintenance. And then we use those educational components along the way to help you shift your lifestyle so that when you graduate, you are your best, healthiest self, and it is sustainable. Medical Mavens is a telehealth company, and it's also our baby.
Yeah.
And
it's just a brand new baby, whereas Macro Mavens is like a toddler.
Yeah, exactly. And Medical Mavens, we had intended to do from the very start, and it allows not only our Macro Mavens clients, but anybody. Right now we're in 4 states, and that's continuing to expand. From the comfort of your own home, work with a really skilled medical provider in the area of functional medicine to help you get tested, know where you're at, and to help you get balanced using all sorts of interventions, including bioidentical hormones where needed. We do gut mapping depending on if there might be something going on from a GI standpoint, autoimmune standpoint, thyroid. We also can use peptides where needed. And that's a whole nother world that we're going to start talking a lot more about. So Macro Mavens is all foundational, nutritional health and education. Medical Mavens is going to be the clinical side of it for those who need it.
Yep.
And you guys, knowing where you're at is like such an important
it's power.
thing.
It's power. If you know where you're at and you know where you're going and how to get there, like that is so much power, you guys. And that's what we want. We want everybody to be armed with the education and the knowledge of how to get you from where you are currently to where you want to be.
Absolutely. Okay. So Haley talked a little bit ago, and we've talked a lot about this on Macro Mavens, but where to start. And so one, having a coach in your corner where you don't have to reinvent the wheel is a game changer, you guys. It's the accountability component. It's the educational component. It's having skill that understands what to look for, how to work with you, where to ebb and flow, where to make shifts. And that is Macro Mavens. So if you're interested in working with a coach that can really customize a plan for you, that's where you go to macromavens.life. And it's a free consult by clicking the hop on board button. Once you're there, we're going to first and foremost get your nutrition underway. And at that point, we're going to also start slowly educating you on the 5 pillars that Haley brought up earlier. And just really quickly, and we'll touch on them, that's going to be, first and foremost, it's going to be your nutrition and trying to approach that from as non-inflammatory of a standpoint as possible for starting to reduce or eliminate some non-inflammatory foods, still fitting in the things you love.
Eliminate inflammatory foods, not non-inflammatory foods.
Oh, did I say non-inflammatory? Yeah. We want to eliminate inflammatory foods. Thank you. And then number 2 is going to be movement. We're not going to want to introduce a lot more movement until we get your nutrition in check. If you came to us somewhat sedentary, if you're already active when you start, we're going to make sure you keep that level of activity and then expand upon that. And then also we're going to work on hydration. We're going to work on stress resiliency, and we're going to work on sleep. And you guys, those are all things that any one of us can do that have a profound impact on our foundational health. And those are the pillars that we use across the companies, but then we get real specified to you.
Yep.
Yep. Yep.
Well, let's just dive in because we talked about like some things that you can do that are free, right? And and a lot of those are within like our 5 pillars. So, for instance, you guys, eating non-inflammatory foods, it's not difficult and it doesn't have to cost more than the foods that you're already eating. But the most inflammatory foods that you can put on your plate are grains, dairy, sugar, alcohol, and seed oils, right? And so if you can reduce or eliminate any of those, you are doing yourself a favor. It also is a really good mechanism for you to learn about how your body responds to certain inflammatory foods. For instance, I did like a whole elimination diet years and years ago, and I really learned that my body's really sensitive to gluten. Not everybody is, but I am. And so and now that I'm aware of that, I know what to do to avoid it. And I also know when is it worth it for me to splurge and to go ahead and have a piece of pizza with regular crust or whatever. So that, it's just, knowledge is power, you guys. And the more you know about your body and how your body responds to different things, the more power you have to influence your different reactions to that. So that's inflammatory foods. Movement, which Emmy touched on really briefly. You guys, it doesn't have to be complicated. No. Like, don't overcomplicate it. It can be free. You don't have to sign up for an expensive gym membership. Yes.
Just start
moving
your body.
Just start walking.
Having a step goal. Mm-hmm. Start there. Resistance training is the best place to end for sure, especially if you want which we all should want some muscle because muscle equals longevity, but just starting by trying to get up to 10,000 steps a day and then beyond that, and then get your resistance training in there. And that's a whole nother discussion, but almost everybody has the ability to move their body in some way. And it's really important.
It is. And even if you're injured, you guys, especially on the Macro Maven side, like I was injured with my knee. And so I couldn't get as many steps in. So I was doing pull-ups and push-ups and sit-ups and other kinds of movements. So anyway, movement is also super crucial. Hydration was next, right? So there is no magic pill for fat loss or weight loss, but if there were, I think that water could be classified as one of those things that is magically helpful for getting you to your goals. So drink water, you guys, at least half your body weight.
You go to macromavens.life and you go to the toolbox. We have a free tool for every pillar along with a million other things. Yep. And on that note, we also, Haley's busy.
Well, I think that it's because she's in my favorites list, and it pops through.
The other thing is on our toolbox of our medicalmavens.life, and I can do a screen share of this. You guys, there's some really amazing tools there, and we'll continue to put additional tools. But we offer a lot of free education because our whole goal is that we can get you guys what you need to feel your best. And then if you need additional help, we are here to provide it, both at Macro Mavens and Medical Mavens. Like our goal is to equip you with whatever you need, and a lot of that is going to be free. But
oh my gosh.
Beyond that, it's like nonstop. Beyond that, that is when sometimes you need that extra step. You need that accountability in your corner. You need that help. You need the specificity. And that is where we can come in handy. So we talked about the non-inflammatory foods. We talked about movement. We talked about hydration, stress resiliency. So you guys, it's huge. Like we can't eliminate all of our stress by any means. But we can pick the low-hanging fruit. We can see what can we eliminate that is stressful in our life. And then we can work on tools to become more resilient to the stressors that are in our life so that they don't have as much of an impact on our health, because it has an impact, once again, on all of our bodily systems, including our endocrine system, our hormones, our nervous system.
My dog is on my counter. Hang on.
Keep no. And so we do have another one. You guys, this is hilarious today. We're with you, I promise.
Sorry.
Okay, and so we do have a tool for that as well, both from a joy strategy standpoint as well as becoming more stress resilient. And then the last one, which is definitely not least, is our sleep. And we've talked about that a lot in the past, but you guys, oh my goodness, sleep is so foundational. Deep restorative sleep. It's not just about quantity, it's about the quality within that quantity. And increasing our deep and our REM sleep have a profound effect even on our ability to shed fat, but also on our hormone system and all of it. It's all like this, and that is why Macro Mavens and Medical Mavens together are like this beautiful thing.
Yeah, so let's say that you have been a part of Macro Mavens, or maybe not, but you've done all of the things that you feel like you can do, and you still are feeling crummy, or maybe you have like uncontrollable periods if you're a woman and you're still menstruating, or you just can't seem to get rid of this belly fat, or whatever it is. You've done all of the free things. You have reduced your stress, you've increased your water, you're moving your body, you're eating non-inflammatory, you're sleeping really well, and you still just can't get to the point where you feel really good. Then at that point, that is when I talk to my clients and I'm like, okay, you know what? I think that maybe we need to talk to a medical provider, maybe have some labs drawn, see if there's something else going on that we can't see on the surface or that isn't being influenced by the things that we're already doing. Yeah. And see if there is something else out there that we can tackle a different way. And so that is where Medical Mavens comes in so clutch, you guys, because there are people who are doing all of the things and they're doing them really well and they're doing them right and they're still not getting the results they want. And so that's when a medical provider really does help to kind of take you to the next level.
And I will say at Macro Mavens, getting your nutrition under control, you will have improvement. You just absolutely will. But there is a time and a place where we come up against things that it feels like the body's resisting a little bit more than it should. And oftentimes there's something hormonal at play. Food can affect hormones for sure. We see it all the time. We see it clinically that the improvement in hormone levels just from shifting food is profound. She's busy.
That's my mother.
That's hilarious. However, like Haley said, for instance, let's take and we see men and women at Medical Mavens, and let's just take a couple examples, a female example and a male example. Let's say I have a 54-year-old female who has been doing a lot of these things. Whether they're a Macro Mavens client or not, you don't have to be a Macro Mavens client to take advantage of Medical Mavens. But let's say they've been doing all of these things and they've had some success, but they're just at this plateau and they haven't been able to fully, let's say that they're in perimenopause, they're not quite fully in menopause yet, and that they have this stubborn fat around the middle, but they've been able to shed fat elsewhere. They're still maybe having some, the inability to have the best sleep possible, and they're just like a little moody and broody, anxious, whatever it may be. You guys, that is like a classic hormone patient. And we can see it, like we're going to, at minimum, the baseline tests. Now, if you already have tests done and you bring them to us, fantastic, at Medical Mavens, and our medical providers will look over those. Thanks. Sorry, we like feedback. But at minimum, we're going to be looking at an estradiol. We're going to look at a free and total testosterone. We're going to be looking at a progesterone. We're going to be looking at TSH, free T3, free T4 within the thyroid. And we're going to be looking at DHEA. Oftentimes we'll be looking at other things too, depending on if you're coming to us specifically for thyroid. We'll probably do more extensive thyroid testing. Our testing is actually really
inexpensive. Yeah.
That's the whole thing, you guys. We want it affordable and we want it easy. And it's from the privacy of your own home via something similar to Zoom. And it's amazing. And we get you balanced. And if you do need a pharmaceutical intervention, then those prescriptions come directly to your door as well. We want to reduce or eliminate the need for prescriptions wherever needed. However, there is a time and a place for them, and that's where oftentimes we're going to use a bioidentical hormone, which will be compounded by a compounding pharmacy and or potentially peptides where needed, whatever may be needed. And we did have... yay,
Jen's excited, yeah.
Jen over on the Instagram side says that she's so excited to get her perimenopause and hormones fixed and her gut, and we are so excited.
We are so excited for you, Jenna. Oh my gosh,
absolutely. And that's just it, you guys. If it's something, if you suspect that you have, and we're going to go back to the male example, but if you suspect that you struggle with PCOS, which is polycystic ovarian syndrome, or that you are starting to have irregular menstruation, but you just think that maybe like something is out of whack, or that you are struggling like with bloating and stubborn fat in specific areas, you're so welcome. Or you have a lot of brain fog, or you think you're having cortisol spikes in the middle of the night, or your performance isn't where it should be for all of the things you're doing. Like all of those things, you guys, there's typically a clinical route to that that we want to help you find.
Yep.
You want to do a male example, or do you want me to?
Well, no, I can do a male example. You guys, just so you all know, I'm a little bit foggy brained. I have not been sleeping well. But that's beside the point. I told her I was like,
gonna help
I was like, you know, our life is going to be really interesting today because I'm only firing on like half my cylinders. But let's say that you are a 40-something-year-old male. And let's say that you have just lost your vitality, right? Which means like you've lost your competitive edge. You maybe in high school or college, you were so much more competitive and you had like this drive that was like pushing you forward. And maybe you've lost that and you come home in the afternoons and you want to take a nap and you just kind of, you know, you just feel like sluggish, foggy brain, all of those same things, you know. I think that what's happening, and it doesn't get talked about enough, and this is not a tangent, this is actually part of it, but I think that there are a lot of men who are walking around who are hormonally imbalanced and they don't know it because we don't talk about it. We talk about women being hormonally imbalanced because menopause and perimenopause is something that, you know, is very, I don't want to say it's necessarily outward, but it's a little bit, it's talked about more often. But men actually, go through something similar called andropause, where their hormones and everything shift with age also. And so at Medical Mavens, you know, we can have your testosterone tested. We can do all these different tests for men specifically.
The same baseline labs are true for men that I mentioned for women.
Totally. And we can see like, okay, where is the imbalance happening? And do you need to be taking a testosterone supplement? And if you do, like, we can take care of that, or prescription, not supplement, prescription. And
Sometimes
we can
supplements.
Yeah, but we can take care of that for you, or we can lead you down that path, if maybe you do just need supplementation, maybe you're low in different vitamins. Well, we can, our providers can talk about that with you and set up a supplement plan. So there are things that you can do, especially you guys, men or women, if you feel like you've lost your vitality. I think vitality is a really important word,
I do too.
because I think that it makes it really clear. Like if you don't feel vibrant, if you don't feel driven, if you don't feel that alive, like that vitality, like then something's wrong. We should all be feeling that. And so that's where Medical Mavens really does come in. And we really do want people walking around feeling hormonally balanced, feeling vibrant and alive, having that competitive edge, feeling driven and inspired. Otherwise, like, how boring. Like, it's just, it's actually sad. It's actually sad.
And that's one of the reasons why Haley and I are so passionate about getting to do what we do, is that it really makes a difference. Like, in the lives of not only our clients and our patients, but, like, their families and their friends and all of the things. Because if you can feel your best, if you can have more energy, if you can have more cognition, if you can feel better in your own skin, all of those things, like, you become a better human for yourself and for the people around you, and everybody wins. And it just makes the world a better place. Like, I know that sounds like corny, but it's true. And so anyways, that is basically the marriage of Macro Mavens and Medical Mavens, and why we feel both are so important and each have their place, both independent of each other, but oftentimes together. And so if you are interested in getting the foundation underway, which is going to be more of Macro Mavens, it's macromavens.life, and you hit the hop on board button for a free consult. And if you know you are ready to jump in and have your labs tested and work one-on-one with a medical provider to have a customized treatment plan for you, or you want both, you can go to medicalmavens.life and click the schedule now button. We
Super
also
easy,
have
you guys.
really cool stuff coming this week, and we at your guys' request, we have a Mother's Day special coming, so stay tuned.
But the Mother's Day special is for Macro Mavens.
But we also have something else coming for Medical Mavens.
Oh, yeah, that's true. We do.
Both tomorrow.
Okay, so there's exciting stuff coming. So stay tuned to both of these, and get involved.
Get involved.
Do it. Do it for yourself.
So much. And keep your questions coming. We have loved all of your questions. So keep them coming. Okay, until next time.
See ya.